Hello everyone, and welcome to the quick overview of Simple Manufacturing software. Simple Manufacturing is the only software on the market that is all-inclusive, meaning it has everything to successfully run your manufacturing business. Whether a small or large business, Simple Manufacturing software can ride the growth wave with you. Simple Manufacturing is sold as an open-source software, meaning our customers have full access to modify, change, add new features, functions, processes, etc. It is a client-server environment, the client being Microsoft Access and the server being Microsoft SQL Server. It is a multi-user software permitting up to 255 simultaneous users. One-time purchase. No annual support contracts, no per-user licensing. This manufacturing software has been built and enhanced over the years, focusing on manufacturing first. Our customer base and the ever-changing global economy demands have driven the expansion of features. We believe in adapting the software to match customers' business model, processes, flows, and demands. We do not believe in forcing customers to change the way they do business just to match what the software demands. Our typical customer base ranges from 15 to 150 employees, with revenue from 5 to 75 million per year at a single location. They operate in or support the aerospace, electronic, and subcontract manufacturing industries, including machine shops. Now let's move on and show you the feature set included within Simple Manufacturing software. From a main menu, there is the Financial or Accounting module. Everything needed from a financial and accounting aspect of your business. AR, AP, banking, checks, invoicing, bills, depreciation, payments, receipts, credits, financial reporting, and cash flow. Everything you need to determine the financial state of your business is included. We understand that double entry into third-party accounting software is not only inefficient, but also leads to discrepancies, errors, and outdated reporting. Our goal is to ensure your finance and accounting personnel have all of the tools, resources, information, features, and functions in support of their job responsibilities. Human resources includes managing employee or personnel information, employee pay rates, schedules, performance reviews, employment history, etc. Also included is electronic time clock, where any workstation can be used for employee clock in or out. Having a single time clock located far away from work areas and standing in line to clock in or out is a thing of the past. Both managers or supervisors in human resources review and approve employee work times and breaks, ensuring the business is staying compliant with state employment regulations and requirements. Moving on to order management. This section not only is the source for managing all orders received from customers and managing shipments, but also includes contract review. Contract review is the process for which your key functional groups can review new customer orders. In manufacturing, these key functional groups are typically supply chain, materials, production, engineering, and quality assurance. Entry of new orders can impact each one of these groups in different ways. Having these functional groups review the order eliminates surprises. There are two options for the contract review process. One option where all functional groups review the order, and another option where the order type dictates which functional groups review the order. For example, a first-time or new build of a product may require the review by all functional groups. However, a repeat order may require all except for engineering. When it makes sense for your business to incorporate a customer order review process, the contract review process is available. Moving on to quote management. Outside of OEMs, it is common for manufacturing businesses to create quotes for customers. If managing requests for quotes is needed, there are two options available. The simplistic approach involves identifying the part number, description, revision level, quantity, unit price, and delivery dates. For more elaborate details, quote line items can include supplier material pricing, identifying outside processing requirements and pricing, creating bill of materials, adding a manufacturing workflow, and including labor estimates. When the business need arises to prepare and manage quotes, the flexibility of this quote module will provide the solution. Moving on to supply chain management. As the name implies, this module revolves around suppliers. Use this module to manage suppliers, their approval status, type of supplier, your business's payment terms and credit limits with the suppliers, and the supplier contacts. In addition, this module is used to manage all purchase orders to suppliers, generate and view MRP, auto-create purchase orders, and run what-if scenarios using planning BOMs. Moving on to inventory management. Knowing what material is in stock, how much, and the type of inventory is critical for all manufacturing business. Having too much or too little has detrimental impact to the business operations. Segregating stock between raw material, work in process, and finished goods are all common inventory buckets. So common that the monetary value of each bucket is a line item on the balance sheet. Having accurate inventory is achieved through purchase order receipt and work order kitting processes, cycle counting, and real-time adjustments. Moving on to tool management. In most manufacturing businesses, measuring devices for inspections and tools or fixtures for assembly are common. A central location to store these items is common, so they can be stored properly, maintained, and inventoried when necessary. Checking these items out to the manufacturing floor is fast and easy using this tool checkout module. When finished, the device can be returned to the storage area, though the check-in process. Using this tool module helps business know the location of any item at any time. This is useful when items are expensive, in high demand, or a high risk if they go missing. Moving on to work order management. Work orders, job, or shop orders are all details of a manufacturing request. Work orders provide details on what to build, the quantity to build, what material to use to build it, and instructions on how to build it. Work orders use a combination of bill of materials, routers or process flows, assembly drawing, or other manufacturing instruction guide and inventory. In addition, if labor tracking is used to record the labor times of each work order, the combination of material and labor costs generates the exact cost to manufacture an item. Moving on to preventive maintenance. Many manufacturing businesses rely on equipment in some form or fashion within the manufacturing process. Whether it be ovens, air compressors, CNC machines, coolers, material forming, and cutting, they need to be available when needed. A run-to-failure approach is risky. Unexpected downtime can be detrimental to the business's ability to deliver product on time. Developing a preventive maintenance program helps to eliminate equipment downtimes. When your business needs to start a PM program, this module is the solution. Moving on to engineering. Manufacturing businesses build product. Some product is simple to build and others are quite complex. A bill of material is used to identify the materials required and the quantity of those materials to build one unit. In simple manufacturing, routers or process flows are created and linked to the bill of material, which are the instructions of how to manufacture it. In addition, simple manufacturing links documents to the bill of material. Documents such as XY data, Gerber data, design files, assembly drawing, tool or fixture drawing, test procedure, and etc. Also part of this module includes an engineering change order process. This change order process is used to track changes to a product over its lifespan. These changes can be to the bill of material, the router or process flow, or to the document or files linked to a BOM. In addition, the change order identifies when those changes were effective, what actions were taken as a result of the change, and who reviewed and approved the changes. Simple Manufacturing's electronic review process eliminates the need to pass hard copies around the office. Also included in this module are control plans. The control plan are used to identify inspection specifics, provides exact details of what to inspect, the inspection method, the inspection tool or device to use, and the pass and fail criteria. When using control plans, inspectors have the ability to enter the exact measurements obtained. Having these measurements help businesses identify any unfavorable trends or out-of-control processes. Moving on to the Quality Assurance Management module. This module provides features driven by ISO 9000 and AS 9100 standards. First is the inspection and control of non-conforming material. This module is used to record all inspections. Those include receiving inspections, in-process inspections, first article inspections, final inspections, and customer return inspections. When a non-conformance is discovered, the non-conforming material process helps manage the process of facilitating the efficient electronic dispositioning of the material. Moving to the corrective action module. Simple Manufacturing uses the 8D process to identify the issue, assign team, facilitate the root cause analysis using the 5 Why method, then define the actions needed to prevent a reoccurrence. Complete those actions, and then finally verify the actions taken prevented a reoccurrence. This module also includes supplier corrective actions. Those are corrective actions that the business issues to a supplier because of an issue with the supplier's material, product, or service. This efficient process uses a Microsoft Excel template to import and export corrective action information. Moving on to the document management module. This module manages documents to ensure that your personnel has quick access to the current released version of the document of interest. Uses an electronic review and approval process to efficiently and effortlessly release new documents and revisions of documents. Upon approval, system's automatic process moves old documents to obsolete status and releases approved documents in a file library. It is common for most manufacturing business that are ISO 9000 or AS 9100 compliant or certified to use Microsoft Word or Excel for creating quality management system policies, procedures, work instructions, and forms. Simple Manufacturing not only stores and manages these native files, but releases them as a PDF version, ensuring they cannot be edited once released. In addition, this module tracks revision level history, who viewed the document and when, as well as who has downloaded the document. It also segregates ITAR documents and sets specific permissions on who has access to view them. Moving on to training management. Most manufacturing businesses perform frequent training to their employees in order to build and maintain a competency level necessary for business success. Numerous training items exist in a manufacturing environment. They range from quality management system, it's such as the quality manual, procedures, policies, work instructions, and forms, to onboarding items, industry standards and specifications, customer specifications, occupation health and safety items, and on-the-job training. In addition, with each training item, you define the training frequency, the training level, and the minimum number of personnel to be trained for purposes of performing a gap analysis. Establishing the training requirements of each employee is easy with Simple Manufacturing's approach using a combination of job titles, work centers, products, and processes to generate the training requirements. Effortlessly add training completions, enter test, or driving results, and print out training certificates in various sizes. Managers receive automated emails of training expirations and training due in the next 30 days. The to-do list displays the employee's upcoming training requirements, and all training needs are included in the calendar. When a business decides to implement an employee training program, this module provides the solution. Moving on to internal auditing. All manufacturing business that are ISO 9000 or AS 9100 certified have a quality management system in place that complies with the requirements within those standards. Internal audits have transitioned more to being process-based. They're an opportunity to review the process requirements, review what is documented for the process, and then observe the process in action. When completed non-conformances can be identified, as well as any opportunities for improvement. When a business is ready for developing an internal auditing program, this module is the solution. Moving on to calibration management. Every manufacturing business has some form of measuring devices that requires regular calibration. Managing those devices and calibration masters is simple with this module. Add all of the measuring devices, set the calibration frequency, and let our module alert you when devices are due for calibration. When calibration of those devices are performed by an outside agency, easily record the calibration results and link the calibration certificate for effortless future retrieval when internally calibrated. Effortlessly record the calibration points and tolerances, the as-found condition, and as-left or as-adjusted condition. Pay close attention to the as-found notation on the calibration certificate. When the as-found condition is out of tolerance, the action of identifying all product inspected by the device since the last known calibration from the inspection module, and determining if those inspections results are compromised by using an out-of-specification device. A thorough auditor will ask for evidence that this due diligence was performed. When using this module, calibration personnel will be alerted when calibration is coming due. In addition, alerts are displayed in the main menu of calibration as well as in the to-do list and in the global calendar. Although not a common practice, some manufacturing businesses use a stamp to identify the inspector performing the inspection step on a printed router. This stamp management module is used to manage stamp numbers, the issuance of stamps, and the retrieval, replacement, and retirement of QC stamps. It is also used to monitor the minimum period before a reuse of the same stamp number. If using QC stamps makes sense in your business, this stamp management module makes it a breeze. For those manufacturing businesses that are required to perform an AS9100 first article inspection per the customer purchase order terms, this module is used to record those first article inspections and populate the AS9100 first article template. When customers' purchase order requirements include the requirement to complete an AS9100 first article, this module is the solution. Communication is a key instrument in any business. The note management module in Simple Manufacturing is a feature that allows a note to be entered, define what modules that note is to be displayed, and define the criteria for displaying the note. For example, let's say a customer has sent a purchase order to have a product manufactured to a standard, but did not identify a revision level of that standard. Once the information is obtained from the customer, a note can be entered identifying the revision level. The display areas are sales order, contract review, and accounting. The criteria is only for sales order 11314. After the note has been added, every time sales order 11314 is viewed, this note will pop up. This same note will appear when the contract review for the sales order is viewed and any accounting record linked to this sales order, including the invoice. Pushing information to users has shown to be an effective method of communication. Moving on to the issue tracker. This module is used to record any issue, assign the issue to a specific person with a requested due date. These issues will display on the to-do list tab. When a resolution of the issue is complete, a single click of the mouse by the user records the issue is resolved and captures the timestamp of completion. This is a powerful way to manage issues from creation through completion. Finally, the calendar module. This module displays month view of calendar items. Behind the scenes, processes keep the calendar up to date by adding entries of calibration, preventive maintenance, and employee training due dates. It can also be used to capture employees' time off requests, customer visits, and anything else the business may find helpful to add as a business-wide calendar. The calendar can be filtered to only show specific entries, such as calibration due dates or employee training due dates. The added benefit of selecting an item to see the details makes this a one-click efficient and informative feature and concept. The next tab of the main menu shows the user's to-do list. Throughout the various modules, personnel is linked to records or action items. For all open or outstanding items, those items appear in the user's to-do list. For example, here is the to-do list for user Colette Vance. Click on any specific bucket and view all of the details of that bucket. Then click on a specific item, and that takes the user directly to that record for viewing, taking the necessary action and then closing it. This is an effective process that pushes action items to a user, and an efficient process using a single click to get users to address and close out their actions. The next tab of the main menu is a quick view of the daily and week schedule. Should the user find anything of interest, they can view the larger calendar to get details or click on any item to pull the specific item for details. The next tab of the main menu is the time clock. Clicking on this displays the employee's clock status, which can include scheduled time off. This helps management and supervisors understand who is present and those with planned time off. The next tab of the main menu is the software setup section. This section is used during the installation process. It is also an area to manage many default settings that are not available to users other than those that have access to the tab, which is controlled within the Employee Permission area under the Employee module. The next tab of the main menu is the Current User List. This tab is helpful to show what users are logged in and the version they're using. This is helpful to ensure that all users are using newly released versions should there be new features or functions that are added. The next tab of the main menu is Module Use. This module displays the name of the module that employees are working within, along with timestamps. This is helpful to verify that employees have access to the proper modules and can indicate which modules are not being used and the frequency of module use. Lastly, the tabs and modules that users have access to is managed within each employee's record, only accessible within the Setup tab. The Setup tab should only be available to those identified to manage user permissions. I hope to hear from you soon to see how this software can help your business operations and how we may partner for your success. Thanks for viewing. Until next time, cheers.